It's just the way it was written, so that's the only reason to go with that one.
Are there any other variations?
Texture.
Needed. We did have a couple of questions, and I'm going to try and keep this really fast, that popped up, and it's probably things that you've discussed, but just so that we have it. Yes. Traffic plans.
Yeah, other conditions.
Other conditions. Let's look on, let's see, page 9 of our, request site plan consisting of one page of very much or other data provisions are necessary, so we'll get an updated site plan for final submission.
Updated building elevation.
Yep, with the new sign.
And
Building,
stormwater.
yeah.
Yep.
And my suggestion would be, if you're going to finish up tonight, that when all of these things which are required, that they need to provide in between now and when the Board of Trustees hears this, that they all have to be approved by Brian. So that's our stop. Yeah, because you won't see them.
Right, right, so Brian can see and make sure that everything that we've talked about is taken care of.
So in your final vote, which will be to fit plan unit development, my suggestion would be that you include in your motion that any of the conditions or things which are requiring to be added all be with the approval and recommendation of the village engineer. So that, because you're not going to see it.
There are some open questions here about, some of these we've answered about wrought iron versus whatever type.
I can go through on the hours of operations we mentioned, which is item 7. Item 8, all the lighting will be shielded, and we provided the photometric plan.
There's a requirement about timing, parking lot lights being off between 11 p.m. and 7 a.m., but security lighting may be illumined between those hours.
No problem. We'll meet code. And the light will not spill on other properties as per the photometric plan. I think that might have been it.
Stormwater.
Stormwater is the other.
How are you gonna handle that?
Yeah, I mentioned, Brian, normally stormwater is part of the building permit process.
Right.
So at this time, we had not designed. We obviously don't want to design the full building plans until we know we're approved. But normally what we would do is when we receive the village board approval, prior to applying for our building permit, we'll contract with an engineer who will design the full plans, and that'll be part of our submittal through the MWRD.
Why don't we put then in, because I know you need to move quickly on this, why don't we put then in the final recommendations that this is all, that your stormwater detention plans are all subject to permitting and approval, and
No problem.
MWRD permitting and approval.
Sure.
That would be a condition, because you can't just build a permit without it anyway.
And the open questions be approved by the village engineer.
Rick, one other question. Is there going to be any security lighting along the east side, or do you want to put any? Technically, there may not be any entrances or exits out into his property, but do you want to put anything? Or should we have anything on that side? As far as, like 2 or 3 security lights along that side over there? So that nobody climbs up on the roof or something from his side, or what, I don't know. I'm just throwing it out.
I think as our plans are currently contemplated, we don't have anything there. But because those windows will all be glass blocked, there will be times when light's shining through the building, but it won't be all the time. Right, when the building goes dark at 8 or 9 at night, that area will be dark. I don't have a strong feeling one way or the other.
And I'm sure they'll have security cameras that shoot that site.
Right.
Even.
That's fine. I just want to have it addressed so that later on it doesn't come back to haunt us, oh, we should have done something, that's all.
Because in Old Norridge, just to the south of that, they were having a problem for a while, I know, with tagging garages.
Correct, correct.
I don't think you want your nice new building tagged.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll give it some thought.
Anything,
Go over stuff before the board meeting.
We will. We'll
I think,
call Brian later this week to try to set something up.
so then are we at a point where all we need is the motion to approve the PUD?
you're okay with everything else?
So and the content of that motion would be to approve the planned unit development with the two conditions, that stormwater detention plans be subject to MWR permitting and approval, and that any open questions that remain be approved by the village engineer.
Any open questions as well as any revised plats and plans?
Okay, and
And in any event, when they come in for their final plat, that's a Brian item anyway. It doesn't come back to you guys unless there's a major change. So,
What we'll do is we'll revise our application, with things like the rear building sign, addressing what's gonna happen on the east side of the building. And then those revised application materials will run by Brian. He can confirm that it goes along with what we discussed here, and that's when we'll go to the village board.
oh, the one thing I needed to confirm, I did have one question, and that is, once you close on the property, is the seller completely out?
Basically, yes. I mean, they'll have certain warranties, like if they lied to us about
Right.
something having to do with property, we have, I think it's 9 or 12 months to go
But they
back
have
to
no
them.
interest in your
No interest.
business,
No,
and
we
they're not
don't
gonna have
have
any interest in
No.
your property?
No,
Okay.
it's a free and clear sale.
any further questions? Discussion? Ladies and gentlemen, any further comments, ideas, questions? Okay, then I'm going to ask for one final motion.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I'll make the motion to approve the application as warranted according to what we had, the conditions set forth.
With the two conditions about stormwater and approval of questions or changes to plats and plans.
Correct. I'll second.
Second by Mr. Ronstadt. May I have a roll call vote, please?
Mr. Fontanaro?
Yes.
Mr. Parrish?
Yes.
Mr. Marisla, yes. Mr. Ronstadt?
Yes.
Mr. Thompson?
Yes.
Ms. Magnuson?
Yes. It's unanimous. We will recommend to the Board of Trustees. These have been a nightmare minutes to write. That with the changes we've discussed here. they
Thanks for your
approve.
patience.
Thank you.
Thanks for seeing it through, I appreciate it.
Thank you for telling us about that.
No, and I'll call you the next day or two.
Brian, at the next board meeting, they're gonna direct me to prepare an ordinance, right? Isn't that the way it's gonna go?
The next board meeting is this Wednesday, and I don't think it's.
No, there's not time.
It's not on the agenda, so you have to.
Except for the February board
Correct.
meeting.
Correct.
And then will be adopted in March, is it the March meeting?
No, I don't think it's the second February, I think it's just February and March, one meeting a month. Doesn't mean we can't have a special, but again, we'll have to work that out, we'll work out the details.
The date, the board.
The board's to call.
Let them
Now you gotta talk to the board.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'll talk to you another time. Traveling tomorrow. I'll play Wednesday.
No problem.
Thank you.
No
May I have
problem.
a second?
Thanks. We'll keep working.
I'll second.
Don't worry about it.
Okay, thanks. Have a good one.